they have a defense now that can compete simply because they're better on first down. I cannot emphasize that enough. First down killed us. I wish that we could see how many what was their winning percentage on first down. See what teams would get on them on first down. I think it was around maybe 5.5 yards on first down. You cannot play defense like that. You just can't.
All right, we're back on this Friday. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, I haven't solicited the like button as much the last couple of days, but let's get back to that. We need to crush this thing. So I'm calling on everybody streaming, everybody viewing, everybody listening, everybody in the chat section. Let's destroy the like button today. All right, let's get after
calling
it.
all streamers. Let's just hit the like. You
Please.
got to get that algorithm.
It's good
right.
for all of us. That's all I can tell you. It is good for all of us. So, all right. So we were talking with Brandon. We just wrapped up with him. Barrett, I want to hit you with this because I know you're high on him going into this season. And Lane Johnson, who we had on, last week, it was early last week, sung his praises and did it again yesterday after practice. Actually compared him from a build standpoint to Jadeveon Clowney. But Lane Johnson at every turn is singing the praises hard of Josh Sweat, and he's going against him a lot of days, right? So let's talk about this a little bit. If I'm hearing it, the Lane right, he's expecting this is going to be double-digit sack kind of year for him. And I know you're high on him as well, Barrett, as I mentioned. So what is a realistic expectation for this guy?
Realistic expectation is I can see him as a double-digit sack guy, especially in this defense. He's going to be fresh, just like BG's going to be fresh. A lot of these guys will be fresh because they don't necessarily have to play as much. They'll come in, in specific downs and situational downs. This is when you get more of your sacks when you're going against a guy that's tired, and here comes a fresh body that comes in. And, it just so happens this guy is a really good pass rusher. I mean, he was hampered his first couple of years in the league because of his knee. He was trying to get past his knee. He had a bum knee. But as he's gotten healthy like he is now, and his jump, getting off the ball was one of his biggest assets. But he was one of the number one players in the nation when he went to Florida. Had a great career at Florida, but he blew his knee out, his senior year, senior year.
Florida State, yeah. Yep.
Florida. So I thought it was Florida. Was it Florida or Florida?
I'll check it. Anyway.
But he knows now his pass rusher moves. He's definitely refined how he pass rush. Like his bull rush now is a tremendous. He has body lean. He plays away from the offensive tackle. You can't get your hands on him. He's using his leverage. I mean, and he's just so explosive off the ball. That's what makes him good. I like him, man. Sweat showed me something last year. I mean, he led the team in sacks. He was tied in sacks with 7.5. And I see him only getting better now.
Okay. Do you think as the season progresses, we talk about a consistent rotation to keep guys a lot fresher. Right. But do you think if one or two guys start to stand out a little bit more, that the reps could be unevenly distributed?
Yes.
As the season wears on,
absolutely,
based on productivity.
Absolutely, you'll start seeing guys like BG and Sweat start getting the bulk of those reps, and then you won't see guys like Derek Barnett. Guys like that starting to go, their reps go down. And that's just survival of the fittest. You got to earn the right to be on the field. If you're not earning that right, if you're not going out there and carrying, your load, then why should you be privileged to be out there? So I can see their reps going up and everyone else's reps going down. I tell you, BG has become more explosive also. His get off on the ball. And he's going to be fresher going into games now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going in there and he conditions his body that he can take every single rep during the game. That's the way he conditioned himself. Now imagine him keeping that same type of intensity, and he only goes in for 20 times a game.
Right.
He's going to maximize every time he's on the field now.
Right.
So he's getting off the ball. I mean, I feel sorry for an offensive tackle got to block him on third down after he's all fresh, and you're in the third quarter. You done played every single snap, and you got this guy coming in fresh because he's only taking 10 snaps, and him coming off the rock, and you're tired, especially on a long drive or something. They're going to unleash the hounds, and I see those guys definitely benefiting from how fresh they are going into the game. Kind of like with the Super Bowl year.
It sounds like, Barrett, if you're, if we're penciling in Hassan Reddick, who's been in double-digit sacks the last 2 years, he gets double digits. Sweat can do that. Brandon's good for his 8, whatever it turns out to be, somewhere in that neighborhood, right? If Barnett gives you anything, any little semblance of something, this team should go from being one of the worst teams in the league at getting to the quarterback to one of the better, correct?
Just saying, the amount of sacks you just talked about just now, talking about 30 sacks, 35 sacks, it puts you halfway. I mean, how many did they have last year?
They were like
29.
Yeah,
like 29th. Yeah,
they were terrible. Yeah.
So man, we're talking about being midway in the pack. Not to count all the sacks that they get from the secondary or linebackers, blitzing and things of that nature.
Right.
This could be a very competitive team because they're going to get a lot more. This is the big thing. They're going to get a lot more opportunities to rush the passer on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, as opposed to last year when they were 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, because first down was such a bad down for them because everybody would average like 6 yards on them.
Right.
So now they're going from being 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 to now being 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 because the teams aren't getting as much success on first down.
Eagles were 28.
See? So that just goes
28 sacks the whole season.
No, 28.
Oh, 28. Okay.
Sorry, Ryan.
It's still around about that many sacks anyways.
You're right. They had 28 sacks and they were 28.
Yeah.
That's what I said, 28 sacks. Yeah.
To put it in perspective, the Steelers had 52. Like that many more.
So just all right, you got 2 double-digit sack guys, I'm just saying this. And Hassan Reddick, then you have Sweat. BG's going to give you 8. That's 28 right now, just between 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's not to mention, Fletcher or Hargrave or Jordan Davis,
right.
Guys in the middle who are going to give you that kind of pressure too.
Exactly. You can't step up now. They have a defense now that can compete simply because they're better on first down. I cannot emphasize that enough. First down killed us. I wish that we could see how many what was their winning percentage on first down, man. See what teams would get on them on first down. I think it was around maybe 5.5 yards on first down. You cannot play defense like that. You just can't because you're always behind the buck. The playbook for the offense, they got a bunch of plays for 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 3. But there's not a lot of plays for 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That playbook gets smaller and smaller. And look at the cornerbacks that we have now. Legitimate cornerbacks that can cover. Now you can blitz because guys in the back end can cover. Gannon has an embarrassment of riches. He just got to use them. See, there's no excuses now for not being successful in stopping the pass. There's no more excuses. You got pass rushers. You got cover guys. Now you got to execute.
You got run stuffers.
Yeah, run stuffers also. So the mindset of your defensive coordinator has got to be a very aggressive mindset. If he calls an aggressive game, those guys will play more aggressive. They'll play more aggressive, which will lead to a lot more turnovers, lead to a lot more situations where they're getting their hands on balls. That's just more of an opportunity for the offense to be back on the field. Now it's up to Clay. Clay's got to get that special teams going. They got to flip the field. They got to do their part now.
Yeah,
they've got to do their part.
I don't feel great about special teams.
My concern, Barrett, is everything you've talked about over the last few weeks about defensive personnel is it almost seems too good to be true.
Yes.
I got this bad feeling. Yeah, hopefully I'm wrong.
Yep.
Yes.
Hopefully I'm wrong. The Gannon's going to stick to rushing 4 and dropping more back into coverage, which is not bad, but you got to send attackers. You got to have that odd man.
Why would you think he would do that though? That's what I'm saying.
Because if you're going to go all these underneath, cover zones, smart quarterbacks are going to shorten up pass routes. Offenses are going to shorten up pass routes. If they can't run the ball, it's a given. Quarterbacks can dink and dunk down the field. If you're getting 3 or 4 yards, even if you're dinking and dunking in a passing game, you're still getting 3 to 5 yards per pass completion. You're moving the chains. You're controlling the clock still. That's my biggest concern. You got to send extra people, man.
Yeah, you do, but we said it before. We got guys that can cover now. You
I get it.
You can't run it. You can't just think you can run a slant on Bradbury and Slay like that. Avonte's got to step it up. Avante can't be that guy. You know, you don't want offensive coordinators to say, all right, here's our guy right here. Here's the fish. You know what I'm saying? Here's the guy we're looking at right here. We got to take advantage of this slot corner right here. Let's create the matchup with him. He's got to step up. He's got to bow up, man. Bow his back and be ready to rock and roll.
Now
he's got to be able to play.
Okay, I will also add this. If you're forcing a quarterback in an offense to shorten up the passing game, that means more congestion in those lanes across the board, which means you don't have an arsenal of quarterbacks they're facing this year that can consistently throw those darts. You know, there's not many Aaron Rodgers on this roster on the opposing schedule this year. You look at most of the quarterbacks that are going to be playing this year are what, middle of the road quarterbacks? Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones, you know, Jared Goff. You know, you don't have those guys. You know, but like I said, my biggest concern is you got guys that can blitz. I mean, you got Nakobe Deans, you got Kazir Whites, you got Hassan Reddicks, and you know, I just think you've got to keep that offense guessing at all times. You got to give them the impression, I don't know where the pressure's coming from. You know, not with just a 4-man front, but you've got to send that 5th and 6th guy occasionally to see if you can generate more turnovers. And that's a big area for the Eagles to try to improve. We talk about just their personnel prowess, but getting turnovers is a key. You got to force offenses to turn the ball over more as well.
They can do it. I know they're going to do it. I saw it in this last game where they were more aggressive and how the corners played up. This is going to be an interesting year because of Gannon. It might be a one and done for him because he's going to have a lot of success with the personnel that he has right now.
Yeah.
A lot of
I think the one and done can shake both ways because of the if everybody stays healthy, because of the skilled players that were brought in, either they kill it and he gets a head coaching gig, or you know, he could be bye-bye with the kind of talent and the upgrades they made. And
right.
They still look bad.
Right.
You know, they look like they did last year. I think it's going to be the positive side of this thing. I think they are going to have a good year, and I think he could end up leaving. If that's the case, you know, fine. That's a good problem to have. But yeah, you're right, Barrett. I mean, like for me, with Gannon and Jalen Hurts, every excuse has been stripped away.
Yep.
Like, it's all there for you, man. Like, it's all there for you to be able to succeed.
It's like pick your poison. Pick your poison. You want to stop? You can stop the run now by running the defense where the 50 front. You got nose guard and Davis. Then you have Fletcher Cox on one side and Hargraves on the other side, and that's gonna at least cause mismatches in the run game because you can't push all three of those guys. And in the passing games, those guys run stunts and things of that nature. Press the pocket. Now the quarterback can't step up. Now you got BG and Hassan Reddick rushing from the outside. Who do you slide the line to? You can't slide the line because you have 5 down. That means everybody's singled up. I'll take Fletcher Cox all day, one-on-one. You know what I mean? I'll 100%. Take Hargrave one-on-one all day.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about Reddick and BG or Sweat on the opposite side. And then you turn around, you get a little innovative when you have Sweat on one side, BG on one side, and then you put Hassan Reddick line up over the top of them, and you run a game between Hargrave and Fletcher Cox, and then run, blitz him also. I mean, that's an offensive player's nightmare because you got a man up 5 across, and you got guys running around. I mean, somebody's going to end up free every single time.
Yeah.
So they have the personnel. You just got to be aggressive in your mindset on calling plays aggressively.
I think he will be, man. I do. I know everybody's afraid that he's going to take the same approach he did last year, and maybe because he's going to have so much confidence in his front, he won't. Maybe he won't be as aggressive. I think he'll be aggressive in a way where you're not sending the house every time, but he's going to be aggressive in that he's changing things up. He's giving you different looks all the time. That's where I think the aggression lies because he does have the personnel to be able to do it.
Yeah, but he's got to call it though, man. You got to have an aggressive because your players take on the mindset of the coaching style in which they have. I mean, you can have the most hard-nosed guys in the world, but if they're not coached aggressively and they don't play calling aggressive, right, then they'll be lax in the way they play. When I was with the Steelers, I mean, we were coached aggressively. We ran the ball 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We didn't care what you had. You could have 11 men on the line of scrimmage. We didn't give a damn. We're going to run right over you. Mm-hmm. But then I was also, you know what I'm saying, with Ray Rhodes, you know, he was the same way. We're going to run the rock, pass when we want to. And, you know, we had some success. Then later on, we had Dana Bible as our offensive coordinator. And needless to say, a 3-13 season because we couldn't buy a first down. We couldn't buy any yardage on first down. We couldn't get a first down. First down wasn't even in our vocabulary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just didn't work, man. Even Bobby Hoying was just a bad play calling mixture. I mean, Musgrave came in and was our offensive coordinator. We picked up Musgrave as a player because he had just got cut. Jeez. Brought him in. He became our offensive coordinator after like the 6th or 7th game.
Oh my God.
That's how bad it was. He was on a roster the year before. A roster got cut, and we brought him in and became our offensive coordinator, calling plays for us.
Now, what is going on? That was bad.
They took the play calling for Dana Bible halfway through the game. We were playing San Fran in San Fran.
Dana Bible was brutal. Man, was he brutal.
Yeah, that was some rough times, man. All right, let's do this. Let's step aside. When we come back, we touched on it a little bit with Brandon Lee Galton, who we talked to a minute ago, but the running back situation, I got to tell you, I'm a little squirrely right now, okay, because Miles Sanders is banged up again. Gainwell hasn't been great in camp, and you're basically left with Boston Scott and kind of just some guys. I'm not really loving the depth here. So let's explore whether or not you think they should make a move. We'll do that when we get back. A little bit later, Greg Murphy's going to join us at 1:30. We'll talk some Phillies with Greg. We got some great NFL stuff. We're going to predict the 7 teams in the AFC, 7 teams in the NFC that make the playoffs. We will dive into Week 10 as well. We got a lot in store. Don't go anywhere. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network, Derek, Barrett, and Rob. Let's talk a little Pro Action Restoration. You know what Pro Action Restoration is? They're the people that you call if you've had fire, water, smoke, mold damage, you name it, to your house, to your property, to your business. They're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. I've gone through this. I called them on a Saturday afternoon. They were there quickly. They salvaged a real mess of a situation at my parents' house, cleaned it up, good to go, great price, very reasonable, nice people as well. They are licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company. Again, it could be any of the above: water, fire, smoke, mold damage, mold remediation. If you're not really sure, give them a call for a consultation. 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or visit them online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.